So hello YouTube, this is the Blue Busters. Now we will be having a second deck profile for our channel. We will be having, let's insert red and let the player put the name. So what are we seeing today?
Okay, this deck profile is about Blitzgreymon. So I'm just a guy that likes to play for fun. So all right, I'm gonna show you guys. All right, I'm showing you 4 Agumon for the starter deck. I'm not gonna lie because this guy is really good. The inherited school, it gives you 1k DP. Well, it's really good. So every red card always sometimes use the starter Agumon. So it's really good. But yeah. Next up is 3 promos of the Agumon. I'm gonna let you guys know I'm a really huge fan of this Agumon because I really love Agumon. It's my childhood Digimon. This guy is really good because while this has Greymon in his name, it gives you 2k DP. It works on any Greymon species like Metal Greymon, Blitzgreymon, any type of Greymon. Next up is 4 Agumons from the booster from a 1.5. The reason I'm using him because it's cheaper to play. I sometimes use it as a rookie rush in case I don't have any busted out any evolution cards. But the downside is it's not cheap for the Digivolution cost, but it doesn't matter. It has more DP, lesser cheap to play, and not cheap to evolve. Next up is 1 promo Agumon. His effect is delete one of your opponent's Digimon has 3k DP or less. A lot of people is not using him because the play cost is 5, but I using him for just for fun, and it's really good. So we're done with the rookies. Now it's next for the champion. I play 4 Greymons from the booster 1.0. The reason why I'm using 4 because his inheritance skill gives you your Digimon 2k, and it's really good. And I only use 1 Greymon from the starter deck, and oh yeah, I don't have my starter deck because I only bought from separate. So basically, yeah, I only use him. And head of skills is really good. Security tech +1. It's really good. But right now, I play 2 promo Greymons. This guy is really good. If you have a Agumon as a Digivolution card, it gains security tech +1. So basically, 2 security checks. Is really good. I like him. Next up is the Greymon from the 1.5 booster. Only use 2 of him. Is really good if you have him as a security. If he's at your security gauge, you can play him without his play cost, and you can play him in the battle area.
Okay, a more aggressive playstyle.
Yeah, it's really good. And I was planning using 4, but it's better to use 2 to how good the card is. So next up is the evolution cost, which is Dark Tyrannomon. I'm only using him because I like it and it's cheaper to evolve to avoid for giving the opponents a lot of memory gauge. A lot of players using the red deck. They're using a lot of him. They're using 3, sometimes 4, but there's a lot of people they're using 1 and 2, and I don't know why. But it's really good. So we're done for the champions. Next up is the ultimates. I'm using 3 Metal Greymon from the booster for 1.0. This guy is really good because he's the heavy hitter. The reason why he's a heavy hitter, it has his effects is 2 security plus 2, so basically 3 security checks if you use the combo of the starter deck of Greymon. So basically you do 4 security checks. But the downside is if when you attack him, when you're using an attack, you lose 5 memories, which is a downside, but it's still a good card. The reason I'm using 3 because I like to use them. I love them.
Okay, can be an expected card actually.
Yeah, a lot of players using 1 of them, 2 of them, so that's fine. But I like to use 3 of them because I like it. I love it.
Okay.
Next up is 4 Metal Greymons from the booster 1.5. Oh yeah, and I gotta let you guys know I don't use level 7s. But the reason I'm using him because he's a piercing. I love piercing. In case like somebody use a blocker, but the problem is that if the blocker has more DP, if this guy survives, it does do, a security, yeah. So, yeah. Next up, you only use 1 starter deck of Metal Greymon. I like his inherit skill. If you evolve it with a Mega, your opponent, if you use when this Digimon is blocked, you gain 3 memory. And I use 1 of the Metal Greymon, the one that gives you gain 3 memory. The downside is if it's end your turn, you lose 3 memory, but it doesn't matter. This guy's really good.
Yeah, it helps you extend plays and stuff.
Yeah. I only use 1 of them because I want to test it out.
Okay.
Next up is the anti-blockers. Skull Greymon. I love to use Skull Greymon because when you play, if you play him, you destroy one of your opponent's blockers.
Yeah, it pretty much holds back your opponent sometimes.
Yeah.
But not Cranium.
True.
True. Alright, we're done for the ultimates. Now we go for the mega levels. Next up, I play 2 Volcanic Dramon. This guy is really useful against Rookie Rush. I'm not gonna lie. But I know people is 11 cost to play, but this guy's really gonna help you guys for against Rookie Rush. I'm not gonna lie, because if you play him, you delete all your opponent's Digimon with 4K or less. And it has a security tech +1, so basically 2 security checks.
And in some games I've seen you evolve him, like instead of hard playing him, you actually evolve into him, giving him a lot of powering with the security, the red tie, as well as the starter deck Greymon. It actually gets him pretty beefy with about 2 security checks, maybe a third one, and having a lot of power to sometimes even survive Omnimon.
Yeah.
Used with options.
Yeah, in case if your opponent keeps summoning a Rookie Rush at immediately, just summon him. It doesn't matter if you play hard, you really need to use him. It is really useful against Rookie Rush. Next up is 1 War Greymon from the Booster 1.0. I like this guy. I'm not gonna lie. When you Digivolve, it gives you a security. But this one on your turn, this Digimon doesn't let you activate the security skills on the option card. And is way better the starter deck. I know the starter deck Greymon, the War Greymon, is really good. I know it has the effects of, the Digivolution resource to give you more security check, but this guy's way even better.
Yeah, you kind of negate those, maybe, even though that's not much of a trump stopper. Gaia Force, Kokaida's Breath helps you survive those pretty well.
Yeah.
Or give advantage to your opponent. Takes that away.
Yeah. So, next up, our main boss, Blitzgreymon. I love this card. I'm not gonna lie. I love this card. Even though it has piercing, but when you digivolve, it digivolve your opponent's Digimon. Two. Like for example, let's just say your opponent is using Ceresmon. So basically, you digivolve with him. You digivolve his Ceresmon. It goes back all the way through his champion. But if, for example, if you don't have no security, imagine your opponent doesn't have any Digimon, only using one. But on your turn, if you digivolve him, it goes back to his Digi-Egg. And you know how the Digi-Egg is, you cannot use it for the battle era, so basically the Digi-Egg goes trash. But this guy is really good. I love this guy.
Slight error. Our player misread and thought he hits baby, but no, it stays at level 3, so it stays there, but with other effects.
Yeah, my mistake, but...
Moving on.
Yeah. So we're done for the Megas. Now, time for the Tamers. I play 2 ties from the starter deck. The reason I using play 2, like what?
Sorry, there, slight editing effect, magic of editing.
Yeah, it's okay. 2 starter deck of tie because it gives you a DP. It really helps your Digimon for DP in case for security check, in case your opponent has a higher security check. But this guy is really play cheaper to play cost. Is play 2. So I only use 2 starter deck of tie. Next up, I only play only one of the booster 1.0 of tie. And this tie is really good, and the reason why, on your turn, in case your memory is so low, it always set to 3. And on your turn, if all your red Digimon has 4 or more Digivolution card, it gains one security attack. This guy is really good. And next is not red. Basically, one Kari Kamiya. I like her effect because if your memory security is 3 or less, you gain one memory, because this little girl gives you 1 memory.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
An unexpected surprise, but welcome.
All right, we're done for the Tamers. Now the option card. I play 1 Great Tornado. 1 Great Tornado is really good. It gives your Digimon 2k DP and plus security attack. But if it has your security, it adds to your hand.
Okay.
Next up is 1 Oblivious Bird. It deletes one of your opponents if it has blockers. In case you don't have Blitzgreymon, you can use him. This card is really good. Only use only 1. Next up is 3 Gaia Force.
Oh, of course.
Obviously, the problem is I only use 3 because I don't have the 4th one. I was planning use the 4th one to get rid of Oblivious Bird at the moment, but this card is yeah, you need this for your red decks. I'm not gonna lie, because this is the obligation.
Yeah, the pinpoint removal really helps against pesky Digimon, except sadly Craniumon.
That's right. You're gonna see them soon enough.
Yep. So yeah. Next up are the babies. I play only 1 Koromon. This Koromon is really good. It only has the downside is if your Digimon has 4 or more Digivolution card, it gains 1 DP. But I was planning to get rid of this Koromon to replace it to Jajamon, because Jajamon is really good. Next up is I play 4 babies. Baby Domon. The reason why I play 4 because I only use Piercing Digimon. The reason why, the Piercing Digimon gets 2k DP, and this guy is really good to boost up your piercings. So yeah.
That's good. It looks like a really aggressive deck, and even though it's a just for fun deck, it has certain consistency help that with the Blitzgreymon working, and also the surprise factor of that Metal Greymon Pro, the secret rare Metal Greymon. So looks a very interesting deck. Later on when we test them out, we would like to see how that deck specifically runs. So just stay tuned, and you'll be able to see that in our later videos.